A very busy day with severe weather here in central and eastern Kentucky. About midnight or so, the activity rolled in. Ironically, the 51st anniversary of the generational tornado outbreak, the super outbreak, April 3rd, 4th, 1974. Now, things settling down at least temporarily. Still have a lot of flash flood warnings, but you can see underneath not much in the way of heavy rain. But checking out this cell down here in southeastern Kentucky, it's definitely holding its own. There's Hazard. It is on your west side and running up Kentucky 15 past the Wendell Ford Airport and then right up to Ned, which is there along the Perry Breathitt County line. Still have that severe thunderstorm warning for Perry and Breathitt County for about another 3 minutes. I highly suspect they'll push this eastward to include Hyman and Knott County and points to the north and east. This has the potential of producing wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Got a lot of lightning, and there's a good bit of hail with it as well, where you see the pink in the reflectivity. That's usually a pretty good indication that we've got maybe some nickel-sized hail or even greater. Catching a break from the solid shield of rain that we had here in Lexington for much of the early and mid part of the afternoon. Got a boundary laying just to the south of Lexington. This area of southern southeast Kentucky has not been worked over at all, and as a result, temperatures are warmer and there's a little bit of a boundary there with some moisture, and so that looks to be the focal point for any potential strong storms going through the evening hours. We'll actually have to watch West Tennessee for these that have developed near Nashville as they ride along that boundary off to the northeast. And with that in mind, tornado watch all the way until 11 o'clock for all of southern and southeastern Kentucky, the counties few either side of the Kentucky 80 and Hal Rogers Parkway corridor. And that watch extends all the way back into western Kentucky and West Tennessee, where they have a level 3 risk for another round of severe weather. Look at some of the rainfall totals. I mean, we've already seen 2.5, 3+ in spots, and that's why we have the flood watch through Sunday, because more rain is on the way. Southeastern Kentucky not in it, as you're not expected to see as much flash flood risk in the short term. In the moderate range here in the bluegrass points to the west. You see the wet roadways there, downtown Mount Sterling, where it is 61. North of that boundary in the rain-cooled air, we've seen temperatures into the 60s, and it's actually cooled down in Wayne County and Monticello. But look at Williamsburg, where it's dry, 81, cooling down a bit now, 73 at Manchester. It was 81 a little while ago. And you see those dew points. Anything in the mid-60s this time of the year, it feels a little humid. And that's that little moisture boundary that these storms are kind of following. It's a little drier, a little farther to the south and southeast. And it is also warmer. Look at Knoxville at 85. Same story in Chattanooga, farther north of the boundary, of course. It is cooler. So this is going to be the focal point of additional rain and storms. This thing jogs to the north just a bit, and then we've got waves of energy riding along it. Plenty of moisture coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. So the same areas along the Ohio River and here in the bluegrass into the day tomorrow see more moderate to heavy rain and storms. Now, it does lift northward a little bit more Friday night, Saturday, so we may see a bit of a break. That's not necessarily a good thing relative to the severe threat, because we have time to warm up, and then we may get another squall line of storms in here on Saturday night. And as a result, we're going to have a weather impact day on Saturday late because of the level 2 risk for much of central and eastern Kentucky. So that's something to keep in mind. We've already seen a few inches of rain. We could tack on another 4 to 5, maybe even more than that here in the bluegrass. And again, the favored area for the significant rainfall and flood potential continues to be into western Kentucky. Rain and storms, a few strong south this evening. Upper 50s in the morning, 73 scattered rain and storms tomorrow afternoon. There's your weather impact day on Saturday. 80 ahead of that activity moving in. We finally kick everything out with showers and storms winding down. And then how about it? A cooler stretch next week. Highs on Tuesday only.